All right, we are now at part 3. We only have a few questions left, so let's see where we are. Simplify the expression. Well, this one already has a plus sign in it, so that means we don't have to change any signs. Remember, we're always looking for the sign in front of the group of parentheses. Has to be in a group of parentheses, okay, to change it. So let's start. I'm going to put a circle around this one, and I'm going to find the matching one, which is right there. So k to the 4th is what they have in common. What is -4 and -3 is -7. Please make sure you're putting this into Desmos correctly. Then I'm going to do this 14. Oh, I need to draw a square. I'm putting it around a number that does not have a variable. So that means I'm going to find this as the matching one. And what is 14 minus 8? The answer is a positive 6. Then I'm going to do 3k squared minus 14k squared. So k squared is our what's in common, and 3 minus 14 is -11. Now, that's our answer, but it's not in standard form. It's not in order of biggest exponent to smallest. So let's rewrite it. 7k to the 4th. Then minus 11k squared plus 6. And here is our answer. All right, let's get through these last 3. All right, this is what we did in class for the past couple of days. We are simplifying -2 square root of 54. Remember what I said, square root. That means it has a invisible 2 as the index, or in that little nook here. But how do we do this in Desmos? All right, let me go to Desmos. Oh, Desmos, here we go. So I'm going to type in -2. Ooh, was it -2? Let me make sure. It was. All right, back to Desmos. -2 square root. We're going to hit the keyboard. We can hit just the radical and type in 54. And look, we get an answer. And is this rational or irrational? It is irrational. We need to keep going. So then I'm going to come down here to a new box. I'm going to type in the number under the radical, 54, divided by x squared or cubed. Hopefully you're telling me x squared, because that is a 2 in the nook. It should be a 2 as the exponent. All right, hit the gear, hit the table, click on the 2, and enter all the way to 20. We got to make sure. And then we're going to slowly slide up until we get to our first integers, okay? 3 and 6. All right, so we know it's a 3 and a 6. So I'm going to go back to my worksheet. So I'm going to write 3, and I'm going to put this radical around the 6. I do not put a 3 here because it is not a 3 up here. Now, what I do need to remember is I need to take this number on the outside and multiply it by the number on the outside of the problem. So 3 times -2 is -6. And then I just copy the rest. And that is my answer. Okay? Now, this problem is a little bit different. A little bit different. I am going to break it up into pieces. I'm going to do the square root of just the number. I'm going to do the square root of x to the 6th. And I'm going to do the last square root of y to the 5th, okay? Now, the square root of 125, we can put that into Desmos. All numbers we can put into Desmos. So let's go see what that is. So let me erase everything that we just did. X, X, X. And I'm going to come up here and do the square root. We got to make sure we hit the right symbol of 125. And the answer to that is 11.18. Means I have to keep going. So we're going to keep going. So 125 divided by x squared. All right, hit the gear, hit the table, click on the 2, and let's see what happens. Go all the way to 20. So then I'm going to slowly go up and look, it is 5 square root of 5. Okay, let me go back to our problem. So just starting here, it is 5 square root of 5. Okay, we did the number. That's done. Done. Now let's talk about this. So I told you all in class you have 2 ways to do this. You can do x to the 6th power and you could divide by 2 because we're still, remember we're using a 2, 2's everywhere. And then this ends up with x, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So when I can do this perfectly, 6 divided by 2, then I don't have to, the radical goes away. That's one way to do it. Another way you could do it is you have 6 people. I want you to think about your house. And inside your house, you have 6 people. And I'm going to tell you that the only way you can leave your house is in pairs. How many pairs are going to walk out the door and leave your house? And you're going to tell me 3. And that's what happened here. These 3 pairs of x's walked out of the radical. They are no longer in the radical anymore. But if we look at the next one, which are y's, and I have now 5 people inside my house, how many pairs can walk out? And is anybody left in the house? And you're going to tell me, well, if there's 5 people in the house, then 2 pairs can walk out. So I'm going to say y squared, only 2 pairs. And guess what? There is 1 person that didn't have a pair. So that person doesn't get to leave the radical. He has to stay, or she has to stay. Okay? All right, and then after you do all of this, and then you could have done 5 divided by 2, which would give you 2 come out and 1 left over, okay? But at this point, I want you to write down everything that is not under the radical. So we have a 5, we have an x cubed, and we have a y squared. And then I want you to draw a radical, and I want you to write everything that is still left. You have a 5 and a y. And this is your answer. Okay? You might have to listen to this again or go ask your teacher and make sure you understand it. The last problem we're going to do is the cube root of 56. Let's go to Desmos. All right, let me erase everything. Last problem. Cube. Oh no, I don't know how to do a cube, but I know if I go to my keyboard and go to functions, I can go all the way to the bottom and click on that cube, that N. There was a little N here. And I can type my 3 and look, now I have a cube. And we're going to go in and type 56. Now, if you look at my answer, it's an irrational number. That means I have to keep going. So here we go. So the number under the radical divided by x squared or x cubed. Hopefully you're telling me x cubed. So I'm going to click on this AB and I'm going to type a 3. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing. The gear, the table. Click on the 2 and enter all the way to 20. And then I'm going to slowly creep up here until I get to 2 and 7. All right, let's go back. So we have a 2, and then we have a 7, and I'm going to draw this exact radical around the second number, and I'm going to put my little 3 inside. And I don't have any number to multiply it by, so we are done, and that is our answer. All right, if you have any questions, again, come see your teacher.